welcome to Fifi Zappa's 2024 end of the year roundup. I have some really exciting content lined up for you guys, so stay tuned for my top lists. Today, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be doing my top 10 K-pop MVs of the year. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing my top 24 K-pop tracks of 2024. The day after, I'm going to be doing my top 24 non-K-pop tracks of 2024. And then we'll be ending the year off with two special videos. One will be a save one or drop one video, like where you pick or choose the best track. And then I'll also be doing like a K-pop 2024 like best moments video. I'll be reacting to it, not making the video. Whilst I'll be doing these shorter special videos here on YouTube, I will be doing entire rewatches and re-listens for all my favorite MVs and tracks over on Patreon, and it will be free and available for all members. All you have to do is be a free member and you'll be able to watch it. Now, please don't skip this part, but here are the rules I kind of laid down for myself in regards to how I chose which MVs and which tracks made my list. So the rules for my top 10 K-pop MVs are as follows. Only one MV is allowed from an artist or a group, so we're not doubling up. I've also added in this extra rule to kind of make things easier for myself. So basically, any groups or tracks that are in my top 10 K-pop MVs will not be on my top 24 tracks of 2024. So any groups or artists you see in this video will not be included in tomorrow's video. I kind of cheated in a way to make it so that I can have kind of like 34 tracks in a sense. Quick disclaimer before we start, this is my top list. These are my personal favorite K-pop MVs of the year. If you don't like some of these MVs, that is completely fine, but I don't care. I don't want to hear about it. I don't care if you don't like any of the MVs in my list. It's my list. There also might be MVs that you love that haven't made it onto my list. Make your own list. The comments are here and open for you to share your list with me, and I urge you to do so. I love reading your lists as well. I like seeing how similar our tastes are or how different our tastes are as well. Also, if you've seen a reaction of mine where I've said I really love a specific MV and it hasn't made it onto the list, that doesn't mean that I don't love that MV or that group or that song. It just means it hasn't made it onto a top 10 list. There's been so many MVs this year. I can't add every MV in for obvious reasons. It's a top list. So yeah, anybody complaining or moaning about my list in the comments will just get a block and you won't be able to comment on my channel ever again. Let's get into my top 10 K-pop MVs of 2024. Coming in at number 10 is... It is indeed Kiss of Life Sticky. I absolutely love this MV. It was a breath of fresh air. It took me back to like second gen style MVs. Love the choreo. The choreo was my favorite part for me. Funnily enough, I did see this choreo or just this MV in general get a little bit of hate on Twitter, which I just did not understand, but that's Twitter for you. I personally absolutely loved it and I love the girls. Moving on to the MV in 9th place.
Here I go, banging it, wanna crack these walls. Banging it, wanna echo through the halls. Pulling up fresh face, brand new Dia. La Lisa Rosalia.
Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to include this or not because I wouldn't classify this song or MV as like a K-pop release. However, Lisa is a K-pop idol, so I wanted to include her. I was deliberating between Rockstar and New Woman because if you see my reaction to Rockstar, I loved it. But I went for New Woman in the end because I love the song a tiny bit more and also I love Rosalia.
Por todo lo que soy, yo puedo frontear, no por lo que tenga, siempre me la dan y mi energía.
Oh my goodness, so good. Probably my favorite collab of the entire year. I loved it. Let's go on to the next MV. We're now moving straight on to MV number 8.
tennis. I've been playing like tennis. Grand Slam.
That was really, really hard for me to come to a decision for this one because I was going to put Selfish Waltz in my top 24 tracks of 2024. But if you'd had my intro, you already know my rule. So I was like, I can either put this MV in or Selfish Waltz. But I just feel like 18 Years' Ice on My Teeth was probably one of the best MVs to drop this year. I love the concept. It was unique. It was different. It was giving me like British gangster vibes. It reminded me of The Gentleman. If you haven't seen that on Netflix, go and watch it. Look at my favorite part though. As a Hongjoong biased gal, that blew my mind. Let's move on to the next MV. I had to choose this MV. I just had to choose it. I love Red Velvet, but I'm also a horror movie fan. I love my horror movies, and Midsommar was such a good horror movie. I prefer Hereditary just a little bit more, but I love Midsommar and all the inspiration they took for this MV from that movie. It was so well done, and it was done in a way that just matched like Red Velvet's creepy ass concept so well. Because let's be real, Red Velvet do have some creepy ass MVs. MV number 6. Taemin Sexy in the Air. My goodness gracious me. Taemin is probably the sexiest man alive. Now, if you see my reaction to the MV, you'd know that it blew my mind. He blows my mind. But I have to show you my favorite part of the MV.
Cause 영원히 담긴 heart. Cause I'm desperately trying to find my fake and real. 그 모든 걸 펼칠 time. 자유로운 나를 유영하는 feeling. Oh yeah. Sure 너와 함께 sex is in the air. Sure 이 순간에 sex is in the air. 또 다른 나의 꿈 같은 세계에. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Those chest pumps. Is he even real? Also, I love like the play on words, sexy in the air. It's kind of obvious what he's actually saying, right? Let's go on to the next MV. We're halfway through. Let's go. It's MV number 5. XG's Howling. Now, I love every single XG MV to ever exist. I feel like their MVs are out of this world. And also, before anyone says, oh, XG aren't K-pop, I actually count them as K-pop because they're part of the K-pop industry, the company, they promote in Korea, they have like variety shows on Mnet. I count them as K-pop, just not only K-pop. That makes sense. So if anyone's like, why is this in your K-pop list? The reason it's in my K-pop list is because I do count them as K-pop as well as other pop. Like they're global pop, but they're also part of the K-pop industry. Like, come on, let's be real. If you have a variety show on Mnet, you are part of the K-pop industry. Anyway, every single MV they dropped this year has been 10 out of 10 for me. So I was really struggling to pick which one was my favorite. So I just went with the one that has my favorite song as well, if that makes sense. So it's killing two birds with one stone, or you might call it cheating, because this way I get to have an extra song in my top 24 list and also have this MV and this song in this list. Some people were saying that there is AI in this MV, but then the company came out and said there is no AI in this MV. I don't know, I'm not sure, but either way, I love it. It's stunning and I love them. MV number 4.
I'm like some kind of supernova. Watch out, look at me go. Timmy 좀 boy, 빛의 core, so high.
Again, just like XG, it was really hard for me to choose an aespa MV because they dropped so many good ones this year, but I had to go for Supernova. I love the comedic aspect of it. The song was just fantastic, the styling, and then this part right here.
Body bang, make it feel too right. Epsilon energy.
I swear to God, I get goosebumps every time I hear that part when I'm listening to the song, and I get goosebumps every time I watch that part in the MV. MV number 3.
Take away, kiss Gasta.
Artemis's Birth. Oh my God. This is actually not just one of my favorite MVs to drop this year. It's one of my favorite K-pop MVs of all time. It was so creative. It was so unique. It was so different. It brought back that creepiness, that eeriness that we used to get from Luna. I've missed that concept and that vibe so much. The illustrations in this, and I think someone mentioned that Hijin actually did the illustrations. The art was stunning. And this part,
Everything is yours. I could get your ex-boyfriend. 너를 찾는 광고 flyer.
the music and the visuals combined, out of this world. MV number 2.
Act like an angel and dress like crazy.
Oh, the girls are calling, calling. Oh, the girls are calling, calling. Oh, the girls are calling, calling. Oh, the girly girls.
I think some of you might be surprised this isn't number 1, but honestly, it almost was. I don't even have the words to describe how much I love this MV. It's actually going down in K-pop history as being one of the best MVs to ever drop.
And dress like crazy.
That bit right there, let's go back.
Act like an angel
What?
and dress like crazy.
We've now made it to my favorite K-pop MV of the year. Can you guess what it is?
Oh yeah yeah yeah. Oh yeah yeah yeah. Oh yeah yeah yeah. Oh yeah yeah yeah.
I don't even, do I even need to say anything about this MV? The MV is one of the most stunning things I've ever seen in my whole entire life. 17's performance unit are also some of the most stunning things I've ever seen in my whole entire life in this MV. The choreo is stunning, some of my favorite K-pop choreo ever. The song itself, probably one of the best amapiano tracks I've heard in K-pop. Let me just show you my 2 favorite parts.
여기 ocean view.
I don't know who gave Dino permission to move his hips like that, but oh my God, he just owned this MV for me. And then my next favorite part, you probably know what's coming if you've seen my reaction.
Oh yeah yeah yeah. Oh yeah yeah yeah.
Hashi! When Hashi does a little... I literally rewound that about 100 times in my reaction. That's an over-exaggeration. I rewound it quite a few times, okay? And I've watched this MV so many times. I've even showed it to my mum, and me and my mum watched it about 10 times as well. It's just so good, and it deserves to be at number 1. But yeah, that's my top 10 K-pop MVs. Head on over to Patreon and become a free member, and that way you'll be able to see me rewatch every single MV in its whole entirety. And don't forget to leave your top 10 K-pop MVs in the comments. Thank you for watching my content and supporting me. I love you and Happy New Year.